Hello, my dear students, and a very warm welcome back. I know exams are just around the corner, and sometimes a poem like Emily Dickinson's Trees can feel a little bit confusing. But please, don't you worry. Your loving tutor is here to make it absolutely crystal clear for you.
So let's talk about this beautiful poem, Trees. Now, if it's giving you a little bit of tension, just relax. In the next few minutes, we're going to make this super simple. And not just that, we'll also figure out exactly how to write those perfect answers for your exam. Okay? Chalo, let's begin.
So first things first, what is this poem really about? Well, just imagine the poet is an artist, but instead of a paintbrush, she's using words to create this beautiful, magical picture of a summer day. So come on, let's step right into this painting and see what she sees. All right, have a look here. This picture, which you'll recognize from your textbook, really captures the feeling that Emily Dickinson is trying to share with us. It's a scene that's just bursting with life, isn't it? You've got birds, you've got leaves, everything is swaying together on a perfect summer afternoon. The poem starts with this line. Now, what are tassels? You know, think of those decorative strings that hang from a curtain or maybe from your mother's dupatta. The poet is just saying that the branches and leaves are swinging so gently in the breeze, just like those tassels. It immediately creates this soft, beautiful picture of movement in our minds. But you know, a summer day isn't just about what you see, it's also about what you hear. So after showing us the swinging trees, the poet wants us to listen carefully. And what do we hear? Oh, a beautiful tune. So where is this music coming from? Well, the poem tells us it's from miniatured creatures. That's just a lovely, poetic way of saying tiny birds are chirping and insects are buzzing all around. And she calls this music the Psalteries of summer. Now, please don't get scared by this big word. A psaltery is just a very old musical instrument with strings. So, Psalteries of summer is a beautiful way to say the sweet, natural music of the season. Simple, right? You know, every good story needs a main character. And in the story of this poem, our main character is the sun. And guess what? He's playing a little game with us. Let's see what he's up to. The poet describes the sun's little game so perfectly. First, as you can see, it shone whole, meaning it was fully bright and out in the open. Then a cloud must have passed by, because it was half. And finally, it was utter hid. It disappeared completely. It's just like the sun is playing hide and seek behind the clouds. Now, here's something very important, especially for your exams. Did you notice the poet doesn't call the sun it? She calls the sun himself. Why do you think she does that? Well, this is where the poet uses her special magic trick. It's called personification, and it's a super important idea. It's simply when a writer gives human qualities, like playing games or having feelings, to things that are not human. So by calling the sun him, Dickinson is doing something wonderful. She's turning it from just a star into a living, powerful character in her poem. And this line here just proves the point perfectly. The poem says, the orchards grow because of a whim of his. Now, what's a whim? It's a sudden wish or a mood, you know? And who acts on a whim? A powerful person, right? Like a king. So this tiny word shows us that she sees the sun as a powerful ruler of this entire summer day. Okay, so we've seen the poet's magic tricks in action. Now for your exams, you need to know their official names. We call them literary devices, and believe me, understanding them is the key to getting those top marks. So let's quickly break them down. So for this poem, there are 3 really important devices to remember. First up is imagery. That's just creating pictures in your mind with words, like the swinging tassels. Second, we have personification, which we just discussed, making the sun a powerful him. And third is metaphor. That's when you compare one thing to another directly. And this poem has a very famous metaphor that often comes up in exams, so let's look at that one a little more closely. Okay, this one, hindered flags. This is a very common exam question, so let's break it down. Why are flowers like hindered flags? Well, hindered just means held back. A flower bud is all folded up tight. Its beauty is held back, right? Then, suddenly it soars. It bursts open and waves on its stem. Just like a flag that's been folded up is suddenly unfurled and hoisted up on a pole. It's such a clever and beautiful comparison. All right, my champs, now for the most important part. Let's actually practice a few sample questions and figure out how to write the perfect answers to get those full marks. Are you ready? Let's go. So, here is a question you will very likely see in your exam. It's asking you to prove that the poet was watching nature very, very closely. Now, to answer this, all we have to do is pick out those tiny, specific details she put in the poem. So to build that perfect answer, here are the points you can write. 1, you can talk about the trees swinging like tassels. 2, you can mention the birds. One is just sitting there careless, and another is gossiping, so lovely. 3, you can point to that clear picture of a snake winding round a stone. 4, of course, the sun playing its game of hide and seek. And 5, that amazing detail of a flower slitting its calyx. That's the little green part that protects the bud before it blooms. You mention these specific details and the examiner will know for sure that you've understood the poem very deeply. Okay, here's another very, very important question. You need to be ready for this one. Why did the poet use a capital H for him and his when she talks about the sun? We've already talked about this, but let's just frame the perfect answer for your exam paper. The answer is actually very simple. The capital letter is used to give the sun a sense of importance, power, and respect. It's a huge part of the personification. The poet wants us to see the sun not just as a ball of fire in the sky, but as a mighty being, almost like a king, or maybe even a god, who is ruling over this entire summer day. And that's it. We've cracked the code of the poem. Now for a super quick summary that you can look at right before you walk into the exam hall. Think of these as your final, last-minute revision notes. So just remember these 4 simple things. Number 1, the poem is basically a painting of a summer day made with words. Number 2, the poet's main magic tricks are imagery and personification. Number 3, the sun is the star of the show, a powerful, playful king. And number 4, it's all the little details about nature that make this poem so special and magical. See? I told you it was easy. Bilkul simple hai, isn't it? Once you break it down, it all makes sense. You are now fully prepared to handle any question that comes your way on this poem. I have complete faith in you. Go and ace that exam. All the very best, my dear students.